Why many Nigerians feel uneasy about Nigeria's new partnership with Turkey. A lot of Nigerians are not happy. I've seen some videos regards to that. So let's discuss it now. We are trying to bring everything together in one clear discussion. Many people, especially the Christians in Nigeria, they feel worried about the recent military agreement between Nigeria and Turkey. Some of them ask, are our leaders aware of the past allegations? Is the country quietly moving towards a stronger Islamic alliance? That is what many are asking. Nigeria is not an Islamic country. Our constitution says the government shall not adopt any religion as a state religion. Yet, we have full membership. Note, Nigeria is not just a member of OIC today. Nigeria is a full member. Some people are telling you it's an observing state. No, we are fully member of the OIC, Organization of Islamic Cooperation. And we have been members since 1986. And now, look at this new defense partnership with Turkey. And many of these people who are talking are complaining, saying they should remember that Christians are also part of this country, that this is not an Islamic nation. So we're going to look at old claims about weapons reaching Boko Haram. Yes, these are important factors to consider. Perhaps the current people who are in charge of Nigeria may not be aware, or they are aware, or maybe they know something we don't know. We heard about the 2017 seizures, the new 2026 training deal, and why these things make many Christians uncomfortable. We also stick to facts and respect all sides. Note, we will not say anything that is contrary here. Now, if you care about peace and security for us, stay with me. Let us start with past stories that still worry many people. Around 2014, a leaked audio recorded spread widely. It appeared to involve a Turkish Airlines official and someone close to the then Prime Minister, who is also currently the Prime Minister of Turkey, Erdogan. They discussed arms shipments to Nigeria and raised questions about whether the weapons would be used against Christians or Muslims. Now, Turkish Airlines denied the claim and said any transport followed international rules. So the Turkish government called the recording fake or politically motivated. Then, in 2017, Nigerian custom officially seized thousands of pump-action rifles shipped from Turkey. The containers were falsely declared as plumbing materials or other goods. So, officials investigated if the guns were meant for sale, criminals or groups like Boko Haram. And Nigeria raised the issue with Turkey, and there were meetings to address smuggling. No clear proof emerged that the Turkish government itself directed the shipment to terrorists. No, there were no clear proofs. I don't know how they settled finally. Then in 2019, an Egyptian television station reported that Turkey was supplying sophisticated weapons to Boko Haram. Nigerian Defense Headquarters said they were investigating it as a serious national security matter. Let's look at that report. According to this report by Turkish Minute, Nigerian Army investigating alleged Turkish support for Boko Haram. The report was dated November 26, 2019. The Nigerian Armed Force has revealed that it is investigating a report which alleges that Turkey is supplying sophisticated weapons to the Boko Haram terrorist group. Nigerian news website The Whale reported on Tuesday. Egyptian television 10 TV, cited by CBN News Channel, had recently reported that Turkey was a major supplier of arms to Boko Haram, even as Turkish Airlines had also been accused in the past of shipping arms to Nigeria, saying the reported supply of arms to Boko Haram by Turkey was a serious national security issue. Defense Headquarters spokesman Brigadier General Onyema Nwachukwu said the matter was receiving attention at a strategic level. The veracity of the claim in the video cannot be ascertained immediately. However, it is a serious national security issue, and I believe it is receiving the required attention at the national strategic level, he said. In a tape posted on YouTube, an assistant executive of the Turkish airline, Mehmet Karataj allegedly told Mustafa Varank, a former advisor to the then Turkish Prime Minister Recep Tayyip Erdogan, that he felt guilty over the national flag's carrier's arms shipment to Nigeria. I do not know whether these weapons will kill Muslims or Christians. I feel sinful, Karatas was allegedly heard saying. Erdogan later dismissed the tape as vile. It will be recalled that in May 2017, the Nigerian government told African Pictures (AFP) it had intercepted an illegal arms shipment originating from Turkey and containing 440 pump-action rifles seized at the airport in Lagos. 5 months after a similar seizure, when customs officers had stopped a truck carrying 661 illegal pump-action rifles after they had been cleared at the port.
An Egyptian television news program says that Turkey is clearly a terrorist state with a broad reach. It reports that Turkey is supplying weapons to the terrorist group Boko Haram in Nigeria. 10 TV host Nashat Al-Delhi reported on a leak confirming an intercepted phone call from a few years back confirming the action. He reported in part, today's leak confirms without a doubt that Erdogan, his state, his government, and his party are transferring weapons from Turkey to, this is a shock, to where you may ask, to Nigeria, and to whom? To the Boko Haram organization. Well, Raymond Ibrahim, a journalism fellow at the David Horowitz Freedom Center and an expert on the Middle East and Islam, joins us now with more on this. Welcome, Raymond.
Hello, Heather.
Are you surprised by this report? What's your take on it?
No, I'm not surprised. And my take on it is that the actual tape that was made that you referenced and you quoted was made apparently in 2014 or 15. And it was reported widely in certain areas in the U.S. and in the West, not so much, and not much came out of it. And the reason, I think, is because Erdogan wasn't so, didn't have his fingers so much in Islamist politics outside of his own nation. But now that we've seen, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, the ISIS Islamic State caliph who was killed recently, and he was found just 3 miles from the Turkish border, which is in fact one of the last, or if not the last bastion of jihadi so-called freedom fighters of attacking the Syrian government. It's brought it up again, the fact that everyone is saying, well, look, he's supporting ISIS. So now we're remembering, and that was, I think, the point of the Egyptian show. We're bringing back to see that there's some continuity here. It's not just right next door to Syria, to Turkey, meaning Syria. He's involved with some of the absolute worst Islamic terror groups. Remember, Boko Haram, which its name loosely means Western education is forbidden, haram, was basically doing what ISIS is notorious for years before ISIS. So the whole, head chopping, crucifying, massacres, enslaving women and children, burning people alive. Boko Haram was doing that. And one of the things that international observers have been noticing, especially increasingly, is that their armaments, their weapons, are very sophisticated. And it's even spilled into the Fulani tribesmen in Nigeria and in other parts in Africa. For example, I'm sure you know Burkina Faso, also in Western Africa, attacks on Christians have become horrific. Just in the last few months, there have been so many killed, and always in the context of checking out if they're wearing crosses, if they can say the Islamic Creed or not, and then being butchered and so forth. And those tribesmen, the Fulani, who are essentially living almost on a primitive scale, appear with very advanced weaponry.
Well, that's really interesting, which would kind of seem to perhaps give more weight to this idea that perhaps Turkey is collaborating with Boko Haram. What would the benefit be to Turkey of collaborating with Boko Haram?
Well, there's several theories. One is Erdogan basically is an ardent Islamist, and he is supporting and behind any Islamist movement in any country. He's the Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt. He was allied with Qatar of Al Jazeera as his ally. And so you can see him, he's trying to help develop these Islamist groups so they can overthrow more secular states. Though, in fact, in Nigeria, an aside that I think is important, the president himself, Muhammad Buhari of Nigeria, who's Muslim, Nigeria is half Christian, half Muslim, has been accused himself of being behind the so-called genocide, which a lot of international groups have called what's happening to Christians in Nigeria, that he himself is complicit in this armament. So he could very well be an ally of Erdogan and so forth, and it's just some sort of Islamist overall coalition globally.
I want to ask you, the President Trump, of course, met with the President of Turkey yesterday. Do you think he's aware of these kind of ties to terrorism, and what are your thoughts on that meeting yesterday?
Well, in general, I think, what he's aware of is really hard to tell. But I think the meeting in general, Trump and presidents won't necessarily bring up all these things, obviously. So when he met, for example, in Saudi Arabia with the king and so forth, he doesn't really mention human rights abuses and so forth for whatever strategic tactical reasons. So it's really hard to predict, but I think he needs to be aware because Erdogan's he's got his fingerprints everywhere now. It's not just Syria, which is very obvious, but now there's older evidence of him.
So, experts who track arms in the region say Boko Haram and its splinter group ISWAP get most of their weapons by capturing them from Nigerian or regional forces or through local and cross-border smuggling networks. There is no strong, fresh evidence of direct ongoing Turkish government supply to the group. That is what experts said, that they did not see any trace of Turkish government supplying weapons to. Still, other older incidents and reports remain in people's memory. Despite what they said that there is no evidence, according to experts, people still get bothered about it. Now let's go to this 2026 defense agreement with Turkey. Let's look at what is happening right now. Nigeria has signed a new defense cooperation agreement with Turkey. Do you know that? The deal was discussed during the Antalya Diplomacy Forum. And here are the key parts. Turkey will train, according to them, Turkey will train about 200 Nigerian Special Forces personnel in Turkey. And the two countries plan to build a major military training facility inside Nigeria, possibly in a coastal area. They will also cooperate on counter-terrorism, intelligence sharing, joint defense production, and developing Nigeria's own military industry. And Nigeria's defense minister, Major General Christopher Musa, retired, said Turkey has valuable experience that Nigeria wants to use, especially in fighting the long-running insurgency. He described the relationship as positive and beneficial for security. Let's watch the defense minister speaking about the agreement.
Nigeria and Turkey have come a long way since 1960. Turkey has been like family to Nigeria. We've worked together truly. We share so many common things together. And Turkey has a lot of experience that we would like to be able to get from working together. I think before now I've had the initial meeting this morning with the Minister of Defense where we shared a lot of ideas on how to improve on our relationship defense-wise. Turkey has improved dramatically regards production of military hardware, and Nigeria is still developing, and we have agreed we're going to partner together so that we have co-production of some of the items. As we speak, because we have been fighting asymmetric warfare for almost 17 years now, Turkey has had experience over 40 years. Because of that, we work together closely. We have agreed to move into training, production, improving on our defense industry cooperation, and exchange of officers and soldiers in training. We have a special forces training. Now, Turkey has approved to give us 200 slots for special forces. So as we return, we're sending them to Turkey for training. We'll continue to do a lot. There will be exercises, the FS exercise that is coming later in the year. So many aspects in defense, we're going to continue to work together. War won't do any good for anybody. So we'll work together with other peace-loving countries to ensure that there is peace all over the world. These wars have caused a lot of disruption in the economy, in human lives. There's no need wasting lives like that. So it's important that we work together in ensuring that our relationships continue to develop and peace for the entire world. We have seen how Turkey is stepping into making peace between Iran, US and the Israel war, between Ukraine and the Russia war. So Turkey has really come a long way, and we're really very proud of them.
Now, if you want to read the full article, you have to go to this link. Here's the full article. There are also other videos that are explaining the deal. So the government presents this as a practical step. Nigeria faces Boko Haram, ISWAP, banditry, and other threats. So Turkey offers battle-tested training and equipment with fewer political conditions than some other partners. So Nigeria also works with the United States, United Kingdom, and others on security. So the goal is to strengthen our forces and reduce violence for all citizens. That is a Nigerian government presentation. Remember, let me tell you our kind of report here. What we do is we present the news, you deduce from what you hear. We are not trying to take any side. But why we are discussing this is because a lot of people are bothered. And we said, okay, let's look at it. Now let's go to the other one. Another important piece, that Nigeria's position in the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, or OIC. Nigeria started as an observer in the 1970s and became a full member in January 1986 under military leader General Ibrahim Babangida. This decision was made without wide public debate or approval from the National Assembly. Those time, military government now, perhaps, who knows. So supporters said it opened doors for economic help, such as interest-free loans from the Islamic Development Bank. Critics argue it went against Nigeria's secular constitution. Nigeria remains a full member today of the OIC, along with 57 countries total. And note, some other non-Islamic majority countries are also members. So maybe we'll begin to weigh what is the good side of this and what is the bad side of it. Here is more on the history and debates around Nigeria and the OIC. For many Christians, full OIC membership sends a message that Nigeria is aligning more closely with the Islamic countries internationally. Combined with the Turkey deal, it raises fear of as if there is a shift. Even though, according to Nigerian constitution, Nigeria has no state religion. But then, as if it's swinging the other way. And that is why people are talking. It is important to note the real feelings here. Many Christians in Nigeria feel concerned for several reasons. And listen to their reasons before you begin to say they are wrong. Let me list the reasons why Christians in Nigeria feel concerned. There are persistent attacks on communities, churches, and farmers in Northeast and Middle Belt, even as both Christians and Muslims suffer from violence. The other one is the old, unproven, but never fully forgotten stories about arms from Turkey. Nigeria's long-standing OIC membership since 1986. These are why Christians are concerned. Then the other one is broader worries about demographic changes and whether all groups feel equally protected. So don't begin to say these are baseless fears. No. Christian leaders and groups like the Christian Association of Nigeria, they have spoken many times about this insecurity and the sense that protection is not always given. They have spoken. At the same time, Boko Haram and similar groups attack Muslims too. Yes, occasionally you hear attacks on Muslims, including clerics who oppose them. So the root of the problem, maybe some people say it lies in poverty, weak governance, corruption, and porous borders. Not just foreign partnerships. Arms flow through many channels across the Sahel region. When we put everything together, Nigeria is a secular country with nearly even split population between the Christians and the Muslims. So our leaders say the Turkey deal is about practical help to fight terrorists and build our own defense capacity. That is what they are trying to let us know. They know the past allegations and have chosen to move forward based on current needs, according to them. Many Christians feel uneasy because of history, because of what has happened in the past, the OIC membership, and the ongoing violence. But what matters in this is being transparent. The National Assembly, the civil society, and the religious leaders should monitor how the training and equipment are used. We must be careful because of misuse. Because if you see the role Turkey is playing in some countries, you begin to really wonder, what are we going to benefit from this alignment? So what Nigeria will do best is to focus on what will actually reduce the killing and suffering of everybody, irrespective of their faith, of their whatsoever. What we expect is good governance, justice, and development at home. Nigeria should put focus on all of this. Yes, the fact is, external partners can provide training and tools, but lasting peace depends on Nigerians working together across all lines. What do you think about this? Do you share this concern or do you see the deal differently? What do you think? Please leave respectful comment below. Share this if it helps you understand the full picture. Thank you for watching. Stay informed and let us all pray and work for a more secure country while it lasts.